And I just watched another video today that was Piers Morgan, and he was interviewing like a panel of folks. And what was so interesting to me about that is he said, well, they're wearing garb that is connected to Hamas, right? And terrorism and Hezbollah. What he's talking about is the kafir. And then he goes, and they're chanting things and singing songs that are connected to terrorism. And what I need to remind y'all about is all of these arguments we had around Dylann Roof, and these arguments we've had around the Confederate flag and these monuments and what the actual lyrics to a lot of our founding songs and chants are, and how Black people and people of color in this country, particularly indigenous folks, have been telling y'all that they experienced America the same way that the Palestinians are experiencing Israel. And you've got to understand the deep-seated theology and what is leavening that theology that makes us complicit in what's happening, but not only that, to make us so oblivious that it's connected. And what is the problem is this hierarchical caste way of thinking that has been leavened by the idea that white is best and right and objective and pure and holy. That is the leaven. And if we don't deal with that, and I've got white progressive friends, and I salute a lot of them. We talk offline, seriously, and I tell them the same truth that I'm saying right now. And it's this: y'all have got to deal with white supremacy. You can't just deal with the whackness of ways that you've been taught Christianity. Because if you don't deal with that whiteness and the ways that that caste system was set up, you're gonna end up doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. Because all it takes is for us to go, I'm right, they're wrong. I'm not dumb. They are dumb. These people are deplorable. I am holy and pure. I'm progressive and moving forward. These people are archaic, right? All you have to do is that, and then have enough money, enough military, and enough messengers to spread that message and enforce that message, and you get what's happening in Palestine. The problem is that we don't go to the root of these things, and the root is the binary thinking. It is the us versus them. It is the good versus evil. We are complex. We are all carrying some level of marginalization and privilege at all times in our bodies. And if we don't deal with that, if we don't get to the root of this thing, we're going to perpetuate the things that we're protesting. It's just the way ideas work. It's just the way isolation and individualism works. And so I salute these white progressives, but I'm like, y'all got to deal with this whiteness, because y'all are out here saying stuff about America and Christianity that people of color have been saying for decades. Right? You ain't doing nothing but repeating stuff that was written in the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. And when we're talking about the nature of occupation and how horrendous it is, indigenous voices have been telling you about occupation for decades, centuries. So we can't be out here thinking we're in the moral high ground. And my white progressives, y'all have to deal with whiteness. Like, please don't come at me trying to high five me over the whackness of Christianity, or at least American Christianity, and the whackness of the occupation happening in Palestine, when you've never read a book, listened to a sermon, or moved aside for a person of color to speak on an issue that you're just learning about. Y'all, if we got to do it, we got to do it right. This is a revolution, but it needs to be radical. And what radical means is at the root. We grasp stuff at the root.